Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel, Gardening in Cold Spring Harbor. Welcome back to Long Island, New York, Zone 7A. Cloudy, mild spring day here in Long Island, New York. So what are we going to do today, guys? What are we going to be planting together with you, my fellow gardeners, my loyal viewers, and of course, my precious loyal subscribers? Today, we are going to transplant my artichokes into my south side garden, and we're going to plant asparagus crowns together with you guys. So come with me and let's get planting. Here is my buddy Sammy, my loyal friend, came to help me garden today. Come here, buddy, come here, come here, come here, good boy. He's my old Doxy, huh, Doxy? It's my dapple Doxy. You gonna help mommy garden today? We're going to plant some asparagus and artichokes. And I have my little helpers over here too. Julia, say hi. Your mommy's gardening helper. And I have Mila over here. She's going to help me plant our asparagus and artichokes today in my south side garden. Guys, remember this space? We recently built it. I already have my drip lines all put into place in this area. We have my raspberries growing across this side over here. I have my strawberries over here. More raspberries along this wall. As you could see, the whole area has been lined with drip lines for my plants. So here you go, guys. Let me show you exactly what we are going to be planting and transplanting today. First and foremost, I have my green globe artichokes over here. I have some in this tray and some over here. So remember, we planted these together from seed in my seed starting trays a little while back. If you haven't seen that video but would still like to see it, it is available on my channel and you could still view it today. I talk all about starting, planting, and growing artichokes from seed. So after my seedlings established their first 2 true leaves, I transplanted them from little seed starting cells to these biodegradable 3-inch pots. What makes these pots really awesome is that you can plant them directly into the soil of your garden and not have to disturb your plant's roots system. As you could see, the artichokes are doing good, doing great. They have quite a few leaves on them. So why are my trays here and not inside my green room? Well, remember the process I spoke to you guys about in the last video, where we talked about hardening off our seedlings outside for a few days to a few weeks prior to planting them outside in your home garden? Well, this is exactly why my trays are here now. I have been hardening off a lot of my seedlings outside. I started essentially with 5 to 10 minutes the first day, then brought them back inside, took them out the next day for a longer period of time, and every single day I extended the amount of time my seedlings were outside. This allows your seedlings to get used to the weather, to the climate, to the zone in which you live, to the wind, to the rain, to the sunshine. So they essentially will not grow permanently in your green rooms. So you want to allow your seedlings to get used to being outside, to be able to tolerate the changes in temperature, the changes in the climate. So this is essentially what I've been doing here for about a week. And now my artichokes are ready to be planted in my south side garden. Another planting project we're going to be doing together today, guys. We are going to plant 2 varieties of asparagus. One variety is the Jersey Giant, and the other variety is the Mary Washington asparagus variety. We're going to be planting them together in my south side garden with you guys from crowns. This is what an asparagus crown looks like. It looks almost like an octopus, like some kind of a spidery looking creature. So I've been pre-soaking my asparagus crowns for about an hour in room temperature tap water to rehydrate these crowns, basically bare roots. So now that we have our gardening agenda for the day, come with me, let's get planting. So if you guys like and enjoy today's video, show me your support by going below and clicking the thumbs up icon. I love to see that you guys enjoy my videos and show me your support. Leave your comments below. Tell me about your gardening zones. Where do you live? Where do you garden? Do you grow artichokes or asparagus? How do you grow your asparagus? From crowns or from seed? And again, guys, if you haven't yet done so, you can do that today. You can subscribe to my channel. It's very simple, very easy, and I love seeing the support from you guys. I love and appreciate all of you, my loyal subscribers. You can subscribe very easily to my channel by going below this video and clicking the subscribe button. And if you never ever want to miss any of my new upcoming gardening episodes, all you have to do is click the bell icon. This way, YouTube will inform you every single time I upload a new gardening video. Now let's get started. So in today's video, I also want to talk to you guys all about how to plant asparagus, specifically from asparagus crowns. So when it comes to asparagus, there are two ways to grow asparagus. The first way is from seeds, and the second way is from crowns. So today I will be planting my asparagus from crowns. So in early spring, most garden centers and nurseries sell asparagus crowns. So if your garden center has an aisle, a section where they sell edible products such as strawberries, potatoes, raspberries, blueberries, grapes, etc., chances are they do sell asparagus crowns as well. So it is my gardening opinion. My opinion is it is much easier and more convenient to grow asparagus from asparagus crowns versus seed. Why is that? Because if you are growing your asparagus from seed, which you can by all means, however, you will have to wait about 3 years before you harvest your asparagus. Sometimes even more than that, because seeds take some time to germinate, to grow, to establish the root systems, etc. So when you are planting from a crown, if your crown is already about 2 years old, you can harvest your asparagus as soon as the next growing season. And if your asparagus crowns are younger, about a year old, you might have to wait about 2 growing seasons before you harvest your asparagus. Never rush to harvest your asparagus, guys. Let that foliage grow to reabsorb all the nutrients and to finally see that stalk, that asparagus spear grow nice and strong and tall. So asparagus is a perennial, you guys. It is a cold, hardy plant which is compatible in zones 3 through zone 8. In fact, it prefers to grow in zones with colder winter season, you guys. So if you take very good care of your asparagus, it'll take good care of you too. It can grow and come back for you year after year for a span of 20 years if you take good care of your plant. So asparagus is a perennial vegetable, you guys. It comes back for you year after year. So how long do asparagus plants last in your garden? With proper care, proper gardening techniques, they can come back for you and grow year after year for a span of about 20 years. It is a cold, hardy vegetable. It's a cold, hardy plant, you guys. It is to be grown in zones 3 through zone 8. And in fact, it prefers to grow in those zones with colder winter seasons. So essentially, there are 4 important steps you need to follow when planting and growing your asparagus. So let's talk about those 4 steps. So step number 1, you guys, plant your asparagus in a full sun location. What does full sun location mean? It means 6 to 8 plus hours of direct sunlight each and every single day. Today I will be planting my asparagus in my south side garden over here, which receives over 10 hours of sunlight each day. Step number 2, you guys, prepare your soil. Use a tiller or a hoe or a rake, whatever you guys have. You have to diligently loosen up the soil. If your soil does not contain compost, you guys, make sure you add at least 2 inches of compost on top of your soil and thoroughly mix it in with your soil. My soil in this Southside garden has high quality compost, over 12 inches of compost already added to it. So I will not be adding any additional compost today. However, I will fertilize my soil with Espoma organic biotone fertilizer. This is a natural starter fertilizer for your plants, and you've seen me use this in my previous videos. I have a video on my channel where I talk all about the fertilizers, organic fertilizers, which I prefer to use inside my home for my plants and outside in my home garden. If you haven't seen that video, you could still view it today. It is still uploaded on my gardening channel. You guys, is to create trenches for your asparagus plants. Your trenches must be between 6 to 10 inches in depth. Good rule of thumb is if you're anywhere between 6 to 10 inches, you are going to be in a good spot, you guys. Make sure you get in there and get the right depth. They should also be about 4 to 6 inches wide and 12 to 18 inches apart. So some of you might have a question. Some of you might wonder, can you plant asparagus in a raised garden bed? Yes, you can, guys. If you do not have an in-ground garden, or let's say your in-ground garden has clayous, sandy soil, which is not compatible with growing asparagus, another perfect option is to grow your asparagus in your raised garden bed. This allows you to control the situation, to amend the soil however you please to do so. You can add as much compost as you want. You can rake it out as much as you want. You can add as much fertilizer as you want. Basically, having raised garden beds is very helpful. You create the right environment for the plant which you are growing. Get in there, guys. Remember, 6 to 10 inches in depth. Soil is nice and moist. We had some rain last night, so my compost soil got nice and wet, which is exactly what I need. Now that my first trench is complete, you could take a look over here. I made a long trench of the appropriate depth. Now I'm going to sprinkle some biotone starter into my hole, like so. There are very clear instructions on the back of the bag as to how much should be sprinkled. I like to be very generous when using my biotone. So there you go. And now I'm going to start with our Mary Washington asparagus variety. Beautiful, tender asparagus, guys. It's a very popular variety of asparagus. It's not very fibrous. It's actually very, very pleasant to grow and very delicious to eat. I'm going to take my crowns, so these roots essentially, and what you want to do, they look like octopus legs, like spider legs. So you want to kind of separate them like this in the middle a little bit. And with the top side pointing up, you want to position your asparagus inside your hole like so. Perfect. You can just put a little soil to hold it in place like so. You can overlay the crowns a little bit. What does that mean? Come, let me show you. So when you're placing the next asparagus, you could have the ends of the roots kind of interlay on top of each other, just a little bit, like so. And you continue to do so with each and every one of your asparagus crowns, like so. So when I talk about overlaying the asparagus crowns, guys, what do I mean? I mean that the roots, so where the two asparagus crowns would meet, you can essentially put the roots a little bit on top of each other, not too much. You don't want to just really overlay them, but they can essentially touch each other a little bit. So you want to form a straight row of your asparagus crowns, basically one after the next, and then you backfill it with a few inches of soil. I do not like to fill it up to the top. It's basically like planting and growing potatoes in a way, because essentially we'll be doing something called a hilling process. So as my asparagus will sprout and start to grow, I'm going to form kind of like a peak, a hill. So every time it grows a little bit more, I'll add a little more soil on top. It grows a little more, I'll add a bit more soil. So today I'm only going to put about 2 to 3 inches of soil on top of my asparagus crowns. And now that my row is complete, I'm going to again just simply backfill some soil, but I'm not going to be putting too much. Again, I'm going to put about 2 to 3 inches of soil on top of my crowns. That is not permanent, guys. That is only until I will see them sprout and begin to grow. The more they'll grow, the more soil I'll keep adding on top. So here you go, guys. As you could see, I covered up my asparagus crowns with soil. As you could see, as I just said previously, I did not backfill the trench all the way to the top. I like to grow my asparagus essentially the same way I grow my potatoes. The process is called hilling, and I already explained a bit what that is. It's basically as soon as your plant sprouts and begins to grow, you add a little more, a little more, a little more, essentially filling it all the way up to the top. But there's no need to do that yet. We just planted our crowns. And now I'm going to plant my second asparagus variety, the Jersey Giant, right in the next drip line zone. So there was our first area, and now we're going to plant the second variety over here. I'm going to do exactly the same thing. I am going to use a shovel, dig a trench about 6 to 10 inches deep. Make sure that it is at least 6 inches wide. And I'm going to sprinkle the organic Aspoma Biotone starter fertilizer. And I'm going to position my Jersey Giant asparagus crowns inside this next trench. So after planting your asparagus, since we are adding the starter fertilizer to our soil, initially there's no more need to add any additional fertilizers for quite some time. I like to wait till about middle of summer, and what I do then is I come in with my Aspoma Organic Garden Tone Fertilizer, and I add it to my asparagus plants to give them that boost in the middle of summer when the temperatures are usually above 90 degrees Fahrenheit by that time. Here you go, guys. I dug up my second trench over here, also between 6 to 10 inches in depth, and now I'm going to generously sprinkle our Spoma Organic Biotone. I'm going to link this product below this video for those of you who are potentially interested in using it but do not know where to purchase this product. So I'm going to leave some links below this video. So one more time, you guys, this is an asparagus crown. That is what it looks like. I pre-soaked mine. They're usually sold in packs of about 3 or 4 or 5 crowns per pack. I got mine at Home Depot. It is telling you right here that it is a 2-year-old crown, which is perfect because that means I could start harvesting my asparagus this coming season, which is great news. They are sold with either peat moss or some kind of shavings inside. The bag is usually a darker color, sometimes green, sometimes black, in order to keep the light away from the crowns. So they're meant to be stored in a cooler, dark location prior to planting your asparagus. So these 3 crowns were $4.98 a pack. And they had quite a few varieties this year at Home Depot. I also have a video on my channel, multiple videos actually, where I took my kids to Home Depot and we stumbled upon their gorgeous spring summer selection section at the garden center. They had a bunch of veggies and berries and flowers to choose from, so you could check out that video as well. It is still on my channel if you are interested. So here I placed my first Jersey Giant crown. Again, make sure that you place it root side down, of course, with this growing point facing the sky. You separate them like so in 2, and then you place them inside your trench. And as I said previously, you are more than welcome to slightly overlay the ends of the roots. Do not overcrowd them, but about what, ½ an inch, you can overlay your crowns like so, and then you continue in the same path. My second trench with my Jersey Giant asparagus is all planted. Again, we do exactly the same thing that we did with our first Mary Washington variety. We're going to backfill the trench with some of our compost soil. Remember, do not fill it all the way to the top. You essentially want to sprinkle about 2 to 3 inches of soil or compost on top, not more than that. Then wait to see until your crowns sprout and start to grow, and that is when you start to add more compost or soil to your growing area. So now that I'm all done planting my asparagus crowns, we planted 12 crowns, 6 crowns of each asparagus variety. Now we're going to move on to the next order of business, gardening business for the day. I'm going to transplant my artichokes, the one we started together, yes, with you guys, from seed. These are the green globe artichokes. I started them in my seed starting trays in little tiny little cells, and when I saw the first set of true leaves, I transplanted them to these biodegradable 3-inch pots. What makes these things awesome, these pots awesome, is that you can plant them directly into your soil and they will, with time, disintegrate. They will get absorbed into the soil and will not damage or hurt or disturb your plant's root system. So now I'm going to move to the next area of my south side garden. I'm going to start transplanting my artichokes. Remember, in my zone, in zone 7, artichoke is a perennial as well. once I plant it and take care of it, it will come back and grow for me every single year, which is another reason why I absolutely love growing artichokes. They could, however, get a little finicky with aphids. So you do have to keep a very, very close eye on your artichokes. They are known to get naughty sometimes in their growing season and attract aphids. So as soon as you see that problem, you need to start attacking that issue. The sooner the better, and not let that disease get out of hand, you guys. So today I'm going to transplant 20 green globe artichokes. Here they are all. I've been hardening them off outside in my backyard for about a week and a half now. And let me see, I left the tag in here where we planted these together. Green globe artichoke on 2/10/23. So they are about 2 months old right now. And this is what they look like. So when planting your veggies using biodegradable pots, so one rule when you're digging up your hole is make sure your hole is large enough so your pot can comfortably fit inside the hole. So once you backfill, you could still, of course, see the plant. We do not bury the plant by all means. So now that my hole is ready, I could see my pot fits perfectly into the hole. I'm going to add some Aspom organic biotone once again, and then I'm going to backfill, and I'm going to continue to do the same thing along this whole drip line over here. So here you go, guys. I diligently sprinkle some biotone. I place my artichoke back into the hole, and I gently basically backfill the hole with my soil. My first artichoke has been planted, and I'm going to do essentially the same thing for the rest of my artichokes. I like to space my artichokes roughly about a foot apart. Do not overclutter them, and do not put them too close to each other, as of course they will grow larger and will have to need room to spread their root system. So this is it for this video, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me here today in Long Island, New York, Zone 7A. Thank you for allowing me to show you exactly how I plant my asparagus from crowns. I gave you 5 useful tips when it comes to planting and growing your asparagus. Today we also transplanted my artichokes, 20 artichokes to be exact, into my sunny south side garden, you guys. If you found this video to be interesting, useful, helpful, show me your support by going below this video and clicking a like. Leave your comments below. Tell me all about your gardening experiences. Where do you live? Where do you prefer to garden? What have you planted so far this growing season? And if you guys haven't yet done so, show me your support by clicking the subscribe button below this video. Yes, guys, it is that simple. Just click the subscribe button, and I'm gonna be very, very grateful and very thankful that you did so. If you want to get notified every single time I upload new gardening videos, all you have to do is click the bell icon. It is also below this video. YouTube will notify you every time I upload a new interesting, helpful gardening videos and advice. Thank you so much for joining me here today on this sunny beautiful, warm spring day. I hope everyone will stay healthy, happy, and be well, you guys. I love and appreciate each and every one of you, and I'll see you again in my new upcoming videos. Bye.